If your faces look slightly off, even when everything seems correct, the issue is almost always structure and placement. Hello, this is Keshav. I'm a portrait artist dealing with portraiture with the technique and Loomis method. And also, I'm a hyper-realistic artist working with graphite and charcoal. Also wanted to tell you that this video also has subtitles, but since this is my first video, so I wasn't using mic that time. So please, if you want, you can go with the subtitles or the voiceover is with me. So we start with a simple circle. The circle starts at the top of the head and goes, the bottom part of the circle extends up to the top of the upper lip. We consider the cranium or the head as a round figure. So we start the circle from the top of the head and we consider the eyebrow line, or the eyebrow line is actually the center of the circle. So we mark the center of the circle, that is the eyebrow line, and then we start drawing the head line or the nose line. So in this video where we started with the nose line, so it was after visualizing, it was pretty clear to us that the nose line was somewhere at the till top of the base of the circle. So we marked the nose line first and then we marked the head line after that. After marking the nose line, we started making the chin, and it was obvious to us since this face is symmetrical, so most of the things are equal in this face. The chin line is a little bit smaller or almost equal since this face is almost symmetrical. So we mark the chin line and then we start drawing the outline of the face. So we have markings where the outline starts. So we have marked certain places in the circle where the outline is to be passed, and so we start drawing the outline from the chin and then we go towards the left hand side to the marking that we have made earlier, and again to the right hand side also we go to the marking. And since we know where the nose line would be, where the headline would be, so we go towards that part and then we finally join the outline at the headline. So one of the tricks that artists use to draw the outline of the shape is first, whatever place they are drawing the outline or drawing the portrait, essentially, they come backwards, stand from the table and try to view the portrait and the phone or whatever object there's the references, and try to look at the portrait that they are drawing and the reference image from the top view at a distance. So this is a very effective method, and after seeing this image from a distance and from a different view, we can easily make out what are the mistakes that we have made. Also in portrait drawing, a little bit mistake or a little 1 degree or 1 angle of slight mistake can lead to a very great error in the final outcome of the portrait. Now after we have made the outline of the portrait, so we start now drawing the facial features, that is the eyes, nose, lips and ears, which would be drawing after drawing all of that. So the thing that we do is we start putting light shadings on the portrait where we feel that the eyes would be after looking at the reference, and we try to be very accurate about it. So we start putting very light shading on the eyes, the nose and the lips, and we assume that there is the placement of the eye. And after we compare the reference and the portrait that we are drawing again and again and try to be very accurate about these light shadings. After the light shading, we take the pencil and then we start drawing the eyes with the dark shading, complete drawing of the eye, and this is the way that we complete eyes, nose and lips. So in eyes we start with we already have the light shading and a very accurate shading of the eye, so we draw it accordingly, and then we draw the nose and then chin. So the method for drawing the chin is that we, from nose line to the chin, we divide it into three different parts. And the first part is the middle of the chin, and the second part is the bottom of the lip. So in this video, I have not been able to show that, but in the coming videos, I'll be showing you the method how to draw the lip and the nose, and also eyes. By mistake, I just mentioned drawing of the chin, how to draw a chin, but actually it was lip. So now we continue with the portrait drawing. So after drawing the facial features, we start towards drawing the hair and the outer part of the portrait, outer structure, and we draw the ear. So here is very simple. We just have to mark the placement of the ear and draw accordingly the slight variations. And then we also move towards drawing the hair. So we have to take notice of the structure, and also a slight trick would be to mark the area with the darker shading in the hair at the time of drawing the hair, and also mark the shape, so that when we start drawing the we start shading, it would be easier for us to determine which are the places which need darker shading and lighter shading. So now moving on to facial shading. So we start with lighter shading. So the trick is that the face is not a flat surface. It's more of which has different bulging or different muscles and different features, facial features, that is in the eyes, nose, lip and chin. So we start with lighter shading and we move towards the portrait, and the places that we see mostly the hatching technique is used, and hatching technique is usually parallel. So it's parallel to the shape or the size we are seeing. So whichever looking at the portrait, we see places where we find the gradient or the grades are darker. So we start with the darker shading. And the first and the foremost thing that we have to make, we have to do towards at the time of shading is first shade the eyes and then start building the depth or the put light shading in the adjacent areas. After we put light shading, we go towards the portrait and we see the reference, and accordingly we make lighter, darker shades, and we try to be very accurate about the tonal values, which takes time for a beginner. So it might take you 3 to 5 portraits to get the tonal value right. But once you get it, this is all we need about portrait drawing. So these are the things which would be making the portrait accurate, and it can help you a lot when you start going to or moving towards different mediums in freehand sketching, such as freehand sketching is very much required when you do a live demonstration, or if you do a live painting, or when you are doing an oil painting that is in the live format. So it's very much required. So it's very important to learn this Loomis method of portraiture. So that's all for today. Let me know your feedback on this video and let me know your suggestions also. Also, I will be making similar more tutorials on this channel. So please subscribe it. Also, I would also like to tell you about my Instagram channel. It's on Instagram with the handle Keshav_portrait_sketching. So please do like, follow and share that account. Also, please let me know your suggestions and comment down below on whose portrait or whom should I draw next. Thank you.